Hey everyone, I'm brand new to the Cub Cadet. I have the 46-inch Enduro series XT1. I landscaped for a few years on and off with my brother. He actually owned the landscaping business, so I am familiar with cutting grass. I used to have an Ariens 42-inch, and it was probably in the mid, like 2005, somewhere in that range. And the motor went, but I can't complain. I bought it for only $300. I decided I did not want to go used. So I read a lot of the reviews, and I chose the Cub Cadet. So far, I am not disappointed in any way. You read a lot of stuff about the chute and everything, so I'm gonna just break it down basically, my pro cons. And again, I don't want to seem picky because I think some of the things that people pick on is kind of stupid. Let's look at the overall machine and how it works, and I'll start off with the steering. Granted, my old machine was a 2005, but I'm going to compare because, that's the only thing I have to go off of. The turn ratio on this thing I felt was unbelievable. I mean, it was hands down way better than my older model. I mean, it helps you get into tighter corners, everything like that. So the steering to me is fantastic. I give it a high thumb up for that. A lot of people talked about the gas tank, oh, you have this thing here and you can't see the amount of gas. Yes, I agree. But watch how easy this is to just, while you're driving, you flip up, you can look right over and see the gas on the inside. So, I mean, to me, that's not the end of the world. Anybody cutting grass anyway, like I don't even have that much lawn. I probably only have just under an acre. I know if I fill that tank, I know I am good to go while I cut the grass. So just fill the tank before you cut it. Like, it's not a big deal. Second, while we're talking gas, it's got like, I think 3 gallon plus. I don't know the exact spec on it, but I will say this. I was very surprised on the amount of gas usage. I felt it did very well with the gas. So, again, debunking that stupid thing with the gas lid. Okay, I get people's point to it, but it's completely irrelevant. It's how the machine runs. Those are knick-knack stuff that, in my opinion, no one has that's any good. So let's move a little more forward to my likes and dislikes. My old one, the forward and reverse, used to be on a lever. This is on a foot pedal. Took a little getting used to. I can actually see myself liking that better, but it was something new to me that I had to get a little bit used to. I don't feel the reverse really engages fast enough, but let me tell you something, this sucker flies in forward, and it does a pretty damn good job, in my opinion, at full speed. So I was actually very shocked with full speed how well it cut the grass. What else do we have? I was disappointed. I bought it in the crate. It had a flat tire. Oh, well, stuff happens. They sent me a brand new one out, and I got it in a few days. So props to Cub Cadet for being on top of the ball. Here's something else I don't really like, but to me, it's definitely not a bargain breaker. You have to. In order to cut in reverse, you start here, then you engage the key to this position, and then you hit the button, and then it cuts in reverse. which is fantastic. My old mower cut in reverse as well. The reason I don't like that is every time you disengage the blades and say, like put it in neutral to get out to dump the bags, you have to turn the key forward again, go back and hit the button again. Again, is that a big deal? No, it's just something that I have to get used to, and I'll be flying through that at no point at all, I feel the seat is a little sensitive with disengaging with the bumps. Maybe there's a way to make an adjustment. I didn't get to that yet. Again, this is my first cut. I'm showing the debris also for a reason, because a lot of people complain about it kicking serious dust, but I blew through leaves, grass, everything. There's no way any landscaper, anyone that tells you, no, it's not gonna suck everything up crystal clean. Anybody that's in the industry and knows that it is not something that they're making a big stink of, and these are probably people that are first time buyers and don't understand, cutting grass is it's not a clean job. It's a dirty job. Again, want to point back out, I was extremely impressed with how fast it was and cut fantastic. Very smooth, nice cut, very fast, and hands down, very impressed with that. What else do we have? Oh, no, I have my lights on. I cut tonight. I cut at night because we're supposed to get a lot of rain. I was worried about the fall. I started accumulating leaves, and I felt the night lighting was sufficient enough. I would love to see, and I pretty much can guarantee that no other mower has it, but I would love to see some side lights. So when you're cutting on the sides or you're cutting in at night, you can see that. If they could ever light the side up, would be a huge bonus. I don't think anybody thought of that yet. Maybe I'll talk to Cub Cadet about that. My beer stayed just fine. Obviously bounced around a little bit, but minimal dust. My old one, I couldn't even keep it in there. I can only put water in it with a cap on it. So I don't feel the dust. And again, that's just an example. My mower was so bad with the dust and stuff it kicked up. This was way less. Definitely noticed a difference in just 6 inches on the machine as far as the cut. It's very helpful. And again, I don't have much property, but I also don't want to spend time cutting my grass. But I enjoy it, but I have a lot of other things to fix in life. So what else? The bagger is definitely something I want to get into. I just want to make sure I touch base on everything else with the Cub Cadet. Ratings wise and what people had said about it, to kind of debunk it in my own personal opinion. And that's kind of why I went with the Cub Cadet, to be completely honest, because I felt personally it got the best reviews except for the bagger, which was something I was definitely concerned about, I'm not going to lie. But there was really no other ratings or bad reviews that I saw on Cub Cadet. That's kind of why I went forward with it. So I think I covered everything that I wanted to on that. I'm going to show you the bagger, and I'll try to do a quick shot at the lawn in the backyard so you can see how much it picked up at full speed. I felt it was definitely good enough. I ran full speed through the lawn. I could have actually probably went over everything and got every single leaf on a second time around. But to me, it grabbed the bulk, it bagged it. But I'm definitely going to discuss the bagger. That is something that had a lot of bad reviews, and I really want to touch base on how I felt about the bagger. So let's get started on that. Easy to assemble. You know, the instructions are pretty cut and dry. That's a good thing. A lot of the reviews were clogging. So I want to just start with that. Anyone that has cut their own grass for a substantial period of time will tell you if the grass is wet, it's not happening, okay? It's just not going to happen. So I know a lot of other people agree. So please steer clear of the fact that, oh, when it's wet, the chute clogs. Any chute clogs. Maybe it clogs a little easier than others. I don't know yet, but I don't cut when the grass is wet. So, you know, simply just don't cut when the grass is wet. And what else did the bagger say? They said it was cheap. They said that, you know, and here you go. It's a perfect example. They say that this eventually gets so discolored that you can't even see the grass going through it. And then they give you this lid up here, and you can see there's dirt. But again, it's way cleaner than what my other one used to do. It used to throw way more dirt. So, and landscaping, I know, you're going to get dust and you're going to get dirt. They had a good concept in mind. Same thing with the gas tank. If you're going to be disappointed at the fact that you can't see those things after, well, I don't know what to tell you. To me, it's irrelevant. It's not something like, oh God, I'm so ticked off, because reality is anybody that cuts grass too, the bags are right here. You know, you feel them, you know when they're full. You know, you just learn to reach your hand back and touch the bags. The first bag gets filled first, so all you got to do is learn to tap on the left side, and you'll know when your bag's getting full and you take it off. To me, that's not the end of the world. It did not clog once on me. I ran it like a beast today, and it did not clog. So it's, you know, the people that are complaining about wet, whatever, you know, I don't know. There are some complaints that this does get holes in it, which I could see in the future being an issue with the plastic. But to me, it's not a deal breaker. And I did get the actual Cub Cadet one, just because I wanted it right away, because my lawnmower died right at fall cleanup, and I didn't want to waste time. You know, people are complaining it's cracked, it's this, that. I didn't have any issues with that. The one thing I don't necessarily like, but I'm sure I'll get used to, is the latch is a little difficult because it's on both sides. And for some reason, like this side, I'm having a little bit of a hard time with disengaging it, as you can see. But I mean, it does close, and I'm sure I'll get used to it. It's just being on a new lawnmower, and you know, you're learning all the ins and outs. I'm sure in no time I'll be popping that sucker right off. You know, whenever you switch from one thing to another, you know, you're gonna get that. The bags themselves, I don't know why they didn't come down a little bit more and maybe get a little wider. I do think the bags could have been a little bigger. The ones that I had on my old mower were definitely bigger. But, and this is the but, the other mower I had, the blades were different, and it sucked everything up, and I was dropping bags constantly. And luckily I'm on the creek, so like I have my own spot where I get to put it all, so it's not a problem for me. But whatever blades are on here, it really I feel it did a very good job in sucking the leaves. Does it get every leaf? No. No mower is going to get every single leaf, no matter what blades you put on it. And to be completely honest, if I would have went at slow speed, it probably would have sucked up 99.9% instead of 95%. But I was able to go full speed on this sucker, and it sucked them up pretty damn good. My last complaint about the one complaint that I have about, to be honest, because like I said, the other stuff I felt is irrelevant. And maybe when people are installing it, if you could see the bagger is offset a little to the right, maybe people that are installing this too aren't doing it properly, and they're not reading where it gets installed down here in the bottom. Could be an issue. So maybe that's why they're having problems with clogging and stuff too, just by where the basket gets placed. But again, I had no problems with anything clogging. The bags actually got full all in here 2 different times on me that it got to here, and luckily I stopped in time, or the chute would have clogged. But if you also look, it's very easy to just pop this off and get at the chute. So, you know, I feel that part of it is pretty good. The one complaint that I have, and you could see it better on this angle, is how far it sticks out. That's my one complaint. I would like to see them, and I know they're trying to stay away from the lever. I get it. Like they're kind of in a bad situation because of the double lever. I actually like the belt with this instead of a push button, which my other one was belt driven too, and I never had a problem with it, so that's probably why I'm impartial. I just feel those push button ones to engage the blades is another thing that can break, because they still get engaged by a belt. This lever's never going to break. I mean, never. You know, that's more electronics. So I actually liked it. It's a little more old school with that. And my one gripe is, again, this, because my door openings in my shed are they're like 58, 59 inches or whatever. They're somewhere around 58 inches, which would be 60-inch, 5-foot opening. This does go over that. And when I bought the mower, I actually went for a 42-inch because that's what I already had. But because it was the end of the year and they actually made a mistake, I got the 46 for the same price as the 42. So how do you not take the 46? And again, I noticed 6 inches makes a drastic difference. No pun intended. But it really does make a big difference when you're cutting. I mean, you really do see the time saving. So anyway, I knew it was going to be a little close getting it into my shed. And then the way this sticks out as far as it does, I basically have to like lift this. Now, like I have to mess with this just a little bit to get it in, and I got to drive very slow and be very precise to get it into my shed. I would have liked to have seen them come over the top with something in that, you know, might be a little more comfortable, even if they swayed it a little. But I really think the bagger got really bad ratings on stupid things. Like, again, I mean, if anybody that cuts, I used, you know, my other mower had the chute that had the little red spindle, right? And anybody that cuts grass consistently knows this for a fact, that you end up going one more pass than you should have with that spindle, and you're clogged anyway. So, like, seeing it and all that, again, like, cutting grass to me is the chute's going to clog every now and again. You're going to go one more pass than you should have before you dumped. There's never a perfect method yet that they've designed. You know, maybe if they learn to weigh it, but that doesn't work because wet grass, dry grass, you know, so I don't see any way that they're ever going to fix that anytime soon. And that's going to be any lawnmower. The chute's going to clog if you don't dump the bags, and none of the methods are perfect. That spindle, I clogged so many times because, like I said, you try one more pass, next thing you know, you're clogged up. So, I mean, it's the same thing, you know, and big deal. Clogs up, you pop it off, it takes 30 seconds to clear it out. I mean, I don't see why people make a big deal of that. It should not be something to deter you from buying this. But I got to be honest, I am very, very impressed with this on my first hour and a half of running it and cutting it. And again, I have a little getting used to, but extremely, extremely impressed with all of it. I give it a thumbs up big time. I would love to have another comparison, maybe try the Husqvarna or one of the other ones that are out there, you know, the Craftsmans of the world. But again, you know, some of the things you read, do not be discouraged if you never rode before, because these are things that you're going to get with any of them. And I felt the Cub Cadet ratings, the things that a lot of people thumbed down, are absolutely irrelevant compared to the way the machine works. And it really, I was really impressed with it first time out. I mean, hands down. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. You know, click the thumbs up, I guess. I don't know how this goes. I just like to help people. So, you know, definitely highly recommend it. And thanks again for watching. Take care.